mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Prescott. And that is incomplete. They were trying to wrap up this playoff game very early on. A pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
Fielded at about the 28. That one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Vikings will be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And some space here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Garabay's kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
Ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. It's taken at the 26. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Open man as Thielen is complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, 60 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Garabay. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Meanwhile, Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Prescott now. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. $10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Vikings send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Here's Prescott. That's caught once again by Gallup. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Prescott off play action. On the move to his left. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Prescott.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's impersonal or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
They certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Play action now. Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. That is caught by Lamb. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Now here's Pollard, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they may just be content to take this three-point lead. And
now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Prescott to throw it.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. On play action, Prescott.
And he'll go right back to Lamb.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On third down, it's Prescott. Touchdown! Michael Gallup from 21 yards away.
And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Taken right around the 44, and I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Off the play fake, Prescott. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Third and short yardage, Cousins. Throw left side complete to Troutman. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Throwing, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Vikings have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And it's now 17-14. Garibay back out there now to to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
1 quarter remains in this NFC. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards to pick up there.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Forced out to his left. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Cousins on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Here's Cousins. Here's Fuller with a catch. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Will Fuller, 33 yards.
And the Vikings get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Prescott now.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Another big gain or two in succession as this one goes for 32.
Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Prescott on play action. Rolling to his right. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Cowboys have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And this a very important drive leading in the fourth quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here 1st down.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And some room to work. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Again, it's Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Cook running right. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Here's Prescott. Finding Schultz. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
No timeout. You got to go quick here.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw, Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And out across midfield down to the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Swinging this out for Pollard. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around a lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man. And
they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Now Prescott. And this one is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here's Dak. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on third down. Now Dak. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So a big one coming now for Brett Maher. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance.
Oh, and you can forget overtime. This is going to be a safety in the final minute of the game. Oh, my. And I don't know that I have ever seen a tie game decided in the final seconds because of a safety.
It's just an absolute disaster, Brandon. You're thinking you're going to at least get yourself to overtime. But how about this defense? They said, we're going to take matters into our own hands, and this will be an unbelievable victory if it holds up.